What's up team, welcome to the video. We are in Costa Rica. This specific area we were in, the whole town lost power. It wasn't too bad, but other parts of the country have really gotten beaten up. So, sad. Let's go though. Jamie looks leaner and more healthy and happy. Poker Staples making moves. Please spar with Lex. So for those of you who don't know, Lex Veldhuis, who's an N-Boss poker player, has some kickboxing experience. I'll link up, there's a video of it. I'll link up a video of a prop bet with another poker player where they had a fight that Lex won. I think he won 100K as well, or maybe more. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I'm definitely down to spar with Lex. He's 6'4" and 100 plus kgs, but for sparring, as long as both people are level-headed, it doesn't make a huge difference. Like, he has reach and he would probably own me, but you know. A lot of people asking about my goals. No, I won't be posting my goals. I am 100, okay, so I think there's two personality types. There's like a Conor McGregor who says what he is going to do and does it, speak it into existence, like say it, do it. And then on the other side of the coin, something I've talked about is the theory that I didn't come up with. Saying what you're going to do gives you a percentage of the satisfaction that you would get from actually doing the thing, especially in the era of social media. I'm going to X, and then the likes and the go-get-ems and all that, and it's like, oh, I just derived 12% of the satisfaction. It decreases the odds of actually doing it. And I have found that to be true in my life. Post results only is a slogan I saw recently. I like that a lot. It's like, only posting results. If I've already done it, cool, I'll post about it, but yeah. Yes, Lex, his girlfriend Mirta, Matt, Jamie, Chris, and Jamie's girlfriend Rebecca is my crew here in our house. And then next month, we have another girl staying with us who kind of helped set up the entire rental house property situation. I did forget to link Melissa's website for the It Fits protein bar. I'll do that here. Out of the 4 cardio videos on your channel, I was still left asking, how should cardio fit in a workout program for bulking cutting if you're a hard gainer / larger individual? So those are opposites. So a hard gainer is someone who struggles to add weight. A larger individual isn't. I'm cutting right now, but you dislike running. Then I would stop running immediately. I'm sorry the 4 videos didn't answer your question, and I appreciate you watching the videos or Googling Vacanti Cardio YouTube before asking. Read this article that I'll link below. If that still doesn't answer your question, we'll jam in the comments. However, what cardio is, to put it succinctly, for the purposes of body composition, it is additional calorie expenditure. So if you can't create a large enough calorie deficit via nutrition alone to lose body fat at the rate that you want to, then adding cardio can help expedite that process. If you enjoy cardio, do cardio. If you want the beneficial effects related to heart health, either like do some form of cardio, whether it's metabolic circuits, whether it's playing sports, whether it's going on long walks, sprints, running, biking, swimming, any or all of the above. My girlfriend will appreciate this video, therefore I appreciate you, Mike. Shorter, smaller women trying to lose body fat. Not easy. You are totally sponsored by Silk Cashew. I'm not. Can we substitute protein shake for Premier Protein Shake for us on-the-go people, LOL? So in my 1200 calorie meal plan day, I did a shake. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Johanna is asking if that can be substituted with Premier Protein Shake, which is a ready-to-drink shake that is sold at wholesalers like Costco. They're relatively inexpensive. The macros are unbelievable. Asking if you can sub that for the shake I mentioned, which takes a blender, takes time. Yes, you absolutely can. However, there are a lot of things. So I said there were 25 things that add up to 1% of progress. It's probably 25 things that add up to 5% of progress that I do. And that's why there's no good and bad. That's why Premier Protein versus the shake I made, you can't call one good and the other bad because it's all context. It all adds up in a micro way, depending on who you are, depending on how long you do it for. The rub on a Premier Protein shake are the artificial sweeteners. There are no artificial sweeteners in the shake that I made. There are in the Premier Protein, so we're sacrificing convenience for a little bit of artificial sweeteners. Now, there's no good data to support any of the negative consequences of artificial sweeteners, except that of negative impact on gut health, but spikes insulin, nope. Causes cancer, not that we know of. I don't think we have enough data to make that assertion. Causes weight gain, like, no. Like tricks the body into thinking it's real sugar and causes weight gain. Like, all of these are unsupported by any good science. That being said, because we still don't know, I would err on the side of not having artificial sweeteners whenever possible. I know this is a very gray and roundabout answer, but it's like, can you sub in that shake? Sure, but if at every single time you have the chance to make this decision or this decision, and you go right every single time, that might add up to something not super amazing. So if you take the Premier Protein shake, if you take the elevator over the stairs every single time, if you, like, every marginal decision, if you always take this route, that might add up to something that isn't amazing. Do you say there's anything to the macro split, or is it all just about calories and protein in your opinion? How much carbs and how much fat you are eating absolutely matters. In the middle, it doesn't really matter. So if you go 5 grams over on fat and stay 11 grams under on carb to balance out there for a day, no, that will have absolutely no ill effect. But try weight training on 0 carb, high fat diet, and then try doing the exact same program on a moderate to high carb, moderate to low fat diet, and tell me how you feel. Doesn't really apply to me, but dropping a view, like, comment to support the channel, my man, thank you. But if you just go 1.5x the protein, carbs, and fats in that video, you will be in a place where the meal plan works for your calorie deficit. Unless you meant that you're just jacked out of your mind and you don't need to lose body fat ever, in which case, touche. Love this, would like to know your thoughts on calories, carbs for some basic fruits and veggies that come in half-pint containers like blackberries or cherry tomatoes. I assume what you're asking, Brienne, is if you take let's call it a pint of blackberries. You're not always gonna have the exact same weight of blackberries in a pint container of blackberries. I would absolutely be okay with you figuring out the macros for 6 ounces of whatever that is, and then every time you had a pint, just logging it as that, versus weighing your pint of blackberries and maybe it was super filled to the brim, or maybe the blackberries were smaller and therefore there were more of them and the weight was higher. Like, you don't need to be weighing in that situation. Sub team, welcome to the comments. Consistency over perfection swag. You want a t-shirt, Zach, that says consistency over perfection on it? INTJ, that's why I love the way you think. I actually just took Dr. Jordan Peterson's new 5 trait personality test, and my extroversion was high, which is very interesting to me. The rest of it was just spot on. Anyway. Andreas, I was probably wrong to say that I don't like the people who watch vlogs. What I will say is that I really like the people who come for educational content. You are not INTJ at all. Besides fitness, you have a talent for giving advice. And then I replied and I was like, I'm just telling you what the Myers-Briggs told me, bro. But you may have a point. Love the content. What do you think my calorie expenditure is roughly per day if I do BJJ training 4 times a week, strength training 4 times a week, an hour and a half each, high volume? So here's the beauty of this. You don't have to estimate calorie expenditure because there's 3 variables: intake, expenditure, progress. We can accurately track intake, we can accurately track progress, and we can back into expenditure. Algebra, solve for X, you know? So what I would recommend doing is track your intake for 10 to 14 days very closely, everything you eat, log it, and then pay attention to scale weight over that period of time. I would weigh in every single morning just to get a running average. I would also take waist measurements. At belly button, 2 inches below, 2 inches above. Pay attention to those measurements, and you're going to be able to see, based on what happens over time, about where your calorie expenditure is. I like this comment. I love GaryVee, but he has a lot of support to live the life he lives. I mean, he always has clean clothes to wear without having to do his own laundry. The higher you go, the easier it is because you can get people to do other stuff that takes so much time. The rest of us have to do food shopping, get dishes washed, clean the house, get laundry done. We have to do the best we can with what we've got. Okay, I completely agree. However, there was a time when Gary Vaynerchuk didn't have people doing his laundry. There was a time where he didn't have money to spend, to outsource outsourceable tasks, to use more of his time focused on the things he was better at, to grow. You're 100% correct that he or that anyone in that position has those things, and it fits a maxim from Matthew that is something along the lines of, to those who already have, everything will be given; to those who have nothing, everything will be taken, which is insanely true. Yeah, it's just true. Now, that being said, assuming you have something, and it sounds like you have something, because to go from absolutely nothing, to go from 0 to 1 is really hard, but from going to 1 to 2 is much easier, and going from 2 to 3 is even easier than that, and 3 to 4, and so on and so forth. Assuming you're not at 0, which it sounds like you're not, because you're talking about meal prep, so you have money, you have a kitchen, you have, like, you know, you're somewhere, that is a base that isn't as easy to build on as a giant base, right? It's not as easy to build on as being a millionaire, but it is so much easier. The distance between a homeless person and you and GaryVee is like homeless person, you, Gary Vaynerchuk. I really mean that. I'm not just talking about wealth. Actually, I'm talking largely about wealth. But I wouldn't let that discourage you. And I hate seeing people, he has a team of people who help him create content. It's not all him, he has employees. It's like, well, at some point he didn't. and you need to grind to get to the point where you do. And that not everyone should do that, but if you want to do that, you absolutely can do that. Anyway, interesting comment. We're gonna wrap it up right there. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw, and I will see you tomorrow. I think we got internet squared away. I'm like 98% sure I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday to Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.